be sure that it's ready. So what we will do, we will start with loading our information into our RecyclerView. How we do that? It's easy. First thing first, before you start anything, when you are working with a URL, you have to use a permission for this action. So how you do that, you have to go to the manifest. Where you find the manifest is inside your app, and you can see the manifest and it's Android file. It's called Android manifest.xml. Okay, come inside this Android.xml. Then we need a user's permission, and the user's permissions we are looking for is internet, then close it up, and we can add another one, user's permission, and this guy as well, access network state. Perfect. Now we're done with the user's information. Then let's start with loading up our image and everything. Okay, we will come to the home fragment. If you see, the home fragment right now is red. Why? Because if you remember, we delete the text and we set our unsplasher, right? So what we will do, we will delete this one, so the red will go away, and we have to get the adapter that we just made. We called unsplasher adapter. So we will say late init var. What late init var is used for? It's used for some information or some variable that we will use this variable later on inside our class in different position or in different places. Okay, so here we will say adapter. It will be of type is unsplasher adapter, this one right here. Then inside our own view created, when the view is created, what we need a context. So how we can get the context from the fragment, because we don't have any context here. So the fragment is get the context when we add or when we launch this fragment right here. It will get the context from here on create, and each activity have their own context, which all you have to do say this. So this, it will be the this activity. And now what we will do, we will come here in our home fragment, and we will make a variable, and we will name it context. And this context, it will be equal to require. So if you see, we have a require context, require activity. So in the same time, we better use activity, because activity, it's in the same time as have context. But context, sometimes it might not have activity. So we better to require activity. So this way we will get the activity. Then inside the activity we have a file or a context to the main activity that this file live in. Okay, so we will say require activity. It's a fragment activity. Okay, so what we will do, we have to define this adapter. So we will say adapter equal to the unsplash adapter that we have, and pass in context. If you see right now, ask for the context. There is a context we have, and ask for the list of unsplash. So we have to pass the list of the unsplash. How we can do that? We can say data server, and inside the data server we have unsplashers. Okay, so this is all for the adapter. Then we have another variable. We have to make another variable. We'll name it layout manager. And this layout manager is equal to a linear layout manager. Linear layout manager right here. And this linear layout manager needs a context. So we have to just simply say context and we will be good to go. And now what we need to get our recycler view and put this to value into it. How we do that? All you have to do, call the ID that you given to your recycler view. In our case, we call it unsplasher recycler view, right? Recycler. So we choose unsplasher recycler. Then we will say adapter equal to the adapter that we have. This one right here. Then again we will say unsplasher recycler dot layout manager equal to the layout manager we just create. Okay, now if we run, we should see some image if all the data that we have is correct. So let's stop and run our application and see if we will get error or successfully the application will run. So when it's run, it should get some image. We should get some image if we not make any mistake. If we did mistake, we can fix it. Actually, this var, it should be val because we don't need to change this information later on. We need to be stick to the information that we have. So we have two different variables. One of them called var and one of them called val. The var one is for defining some information, and we need to change this information later on. For example, the one that we use adapter, and here we set up the adapter with a context and the information that we get from the data service and splasher. But val is something that will stay the same. Okay, so it's look like our application is run, and if you see, there is no image, but if you see clear, there is a name of the wallpaper and nature and this. And let's see what we did wrong. Let's go back to our server and open up this. If you remember, we copy this URL, but this URL is not quite the same URL that we need. So if we come back here, if we look for this URL, it will take us to that page. It takes us to that page, but this page is not the page of the picture. Okay, we need the page of the picture to make sure to get the right information. In this moment, we just copy the image address inside here and paste it in here. Now when we run, the first one should work because we get the right image. Okay, so what I will do, I will simply get two more images just from this page. Let's go back again and let's copy this address. And give it to the second one. And lastly, let's copy this one as well and give it to the third one. Make sure you will have the right address. Okay, let's run again. Now we should see the information, wallpaper, nature, and architecture, and we should see three images loaded up into our application. And there you go. Now we have three image load with the name and everything. Okay, thank you for watching. We will be continuing the next one. and I will going to add some more layout or some more image and information for it, and you go do the same thing as well. And in the next one we will be continue with this one and how we can click each one of these and get the right information. Okay, thank you for watching. We will be continuing the next one.